Okay, guys, we're live. We're live, but we're gonna give it a couple minutes till we get some people in here. If I even have any more audience after it's been over a month since I did one, and it's just so busy. You guys been good?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're slacking, man.
I know. I really I need to be more dedicated to this. I need to be like Ryan McCaffrey, where
Yeah, exactly.
every week. I don't know how that guy does it
Without fail.
yeah, with family and vacation and his second job or his main job.
Main job, yeah.
I can't imagine, but good on
Yeah.
him. He's someone to aspire to.
I don't think he's missed a week ever since he started, or maybe 1 week he was saying. I remember.
Yeah, I think
on a
he said in
recent
the
podcast.
very first 6 months or very first year he missed one. But even it's been 5 years?
Yeah,
It's amazing.
crazy.
It's crazy.
How's the heat over there, Darren? Are you still like a Sahara Desert hot?
Yeah, it's actually cooled down today. It was 34 last time I was outside about half an hour ago.
Wow, that's cool. Yeah, because you had 46 yesterday, right?
Yeah, it was in the mid 40s.
Wow.
Last couple of days.
Wow, that's unheard of. We touch 40s at least once a summer, one day a summer for the last few years here in Ontario. But BC, yeah, that's unheard of for you guys, right?
It is, yeah, and especially for this long. I mean, the heat's been going on for like 4 or 5 days now.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Like, are all your lakes dried up? I'm just kidding. No, we've had our share of humidity here in Ontario too, and we just had I don't know about you guys where you are respectively, Ontario boys, but we had here in the West End some wicked weather coming through and thunderstorms and no hail, no tornadoes that we know of at least yet, but it's been pretty bad.
Yeah, my internet went out earlier today during the
it did?
brunt of it. So yeah, everything dropped for a minute. Like the whole area, my girlfriend's a few streets away, and hers went out. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Hello, Franklin.
Hey.
You sound much better now.
Yes.
And you look better. You look. You did this before. You showed me this before, and is it a game show background?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, I was like trying to get everything ready to go, and yeah.
Oh no, I get it. You guys all have the stuff we're going to talk about.
Yep.
Sure.
Yep. I mean, loosey goosey. I mean, you know how this show is, right? We just wing it. Or at least let me rephrase that. I just wing it. All my guests come all prepared and study and just be prepared. Whereas me, I'm just like, oh, I've got 5 minutes to do a podcast. let me get started.
Do you count me as one of your guests that come prepared?
I wasn't going to say anything.
Oh, okay.
No, but you know what? While we get started, are you set, Franklin? Can you
I'm
start?
good to go. Yeah.
You're good to go, eh? Okay, let's start. Hello, folks. I forget what to say. It's been so long. It's like I'm not with this anymore. Hello, folks. Welcome to the podcast. This is the Tesla Talks podcast. It's been a while, a very, very long while, and we are still here. We're still with the living, and we've got a full board. I guess you can call it a board, like a full cast of members here today. We have people that have been here before, and we have you haven't been here before, right? You're new.
Yes, it's my first time.
Don't say
I'm
it.
new.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll start with you because you're the new person. Noah, thanks for joining us. You have a wealth of knowledge when it comes to Tesla. I've talked to you online and offline, in-person stuff. You know your stuff, so that's why I wanted to get you on the show. Thanks for being here.
Yeah, of course, anytime.
But I mean, I consider you a friend of mine. So I mean, that's the other reason I want you to be here. I don't want to just make it sound like I'm using you just for
of course.
just for your Tesla knowledge. Speaking of a wealth of knowledge, I mean, we'd be remiss if we didn't welcome Darren from Drive Tesla Canada. Welcome, Darren.
Thanks.
You half the time, more than half, almost all the time, we have a show and you can't make it. live, but you're in the audience or something like that. It's like we do your articles and we do topics from your website, and it's like, you know what, Darren should just be here. He should just take over and do it because you know all the answers, and if there's any questions and stuff like that, you know it all. So I'm not just saying that to blow sunshine up your butt either. You're a very very knowledgeable person, and you've got some good insight. I don't want to have you leak your sources or anything, but you've got some good sources. So that's good.
Yeah, I've been pretty lucky in getting those over the couple of years I've been doing this. So
good stuff. And speaking of a wealth of knowledge, that's about it. And then we have Franklin. I'm just kidding.
Nothing.
Hi.
I have nothing to say.
Hi, Franklin.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I might be a little harsh on you tonight, just because I was going through my camera video, and I saw a video that you made for me when I was absent from the table on Saturday at lunch. So we'll just leave it at that.
Basically, we were going for... He makes it sound worse than it is.
I know. I was going to explain, but you explain it.
We went out for lunch. He put his GoPro on the table, and then he left to go to the bathroom. So I did the right thing to do as a friend, right? I picked up his GoPro and made like a nice little selfie video, and I left it there as a surprise for him to see later on when he went to go edit his footage.
That's exactly what I saw too. It was a surprise. It was a surprise, but as I'm watching it, I'm like, you know what? I should have known he would have done that, because you know what? I would have done the same thing too. So
you know the best is when
What's the
people
best?
leave their phones down. Almost every phone now, you don't need the passcode to get into the camera.
That's true.
So if you pick up the phone, you can take like a lot of selfies. Let's just use the word a lot rather than put a number on it. To make someone really upset, and it's an hilarious, like, it's a good clean joke, right?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. If you don't take it too far, yeah, which you didn't, and I'm putting together that video, and it's a small little drive we went on this past weekend, and it's gonna come out on my channel probably in the next few days, if not by the weekend for sure.
Mine will be out tonight.
Oh, okay.
I'm an overachiever.
Yeah,
pressure on Dax.
I'm sorry.
Pressure's on.
No, you know what? I've got way too. I'm leaving for a 5-day camping trip in the morning, so I've been busy in the last 2 days getting ready with that, plus other videos, plus I've got another channel where I do camping stuff. So I've got I just been way too busy. Mine will come out when it comes out. But my background, my green screen background, that is when we went this weekend. Where I'll just get out of the way and show you.
You weren't out of the way.
I know
at
it
all.
didn't. It didn't.
we got to see the skyline at least, so there's
Okay,
that.
here, I can do this.
For the audio only listeners, basically, Dax thinks he's out of the way. That's
I know.
all
Well, if you saw where I am in this little tiny space, you would know that I can't get out of the way. It's like too tiny. Like, how can I show this? Oh, I can take a picture. I didn't even do it right. Okay, that's where I am, and the green screen messes it up. Okay, thanks for coming on the show, guys. You know what? It's been, like I said, it's been a month, so there's been so much news. I mean, I can't get to it all. We're just going to try to touch on. If you guys have anything, I didn't ask you guys. If you have anything you want to talk about, I know we're tight for time. Some of our guests have to jet after predetermined time, so I get it. When you guys need to go, just let me know. Don't feel that you're going to be rude. Just let me know, and we'll say bye and thank you and stuff like that. But like I said, a lot of news. The only thing I want to mention is, like, I mean, there's some stuff that we could just touch on. We don't really have to discuss and stuff like that. And there's a few things that I want to get your guys' takes on. I mean, okay, Beta9 delayed again. Any surprise? I mean, it was laughable 2-3 weeks ago or a month ago. Now it's like what's beyond laughable? I mean, it's just expected. It's actually I almost don't want to see it come out. I just wanted this joke to keep going, but I want to see it come out. I don't want it to go that bad. But it's incredible how he just keeps saying 2 weeks, and that was the butt of many jokes for the longest time. Now it's like a week. I think he's shortened it to, instead of 2 weeks now, just 1 week. And the Plaid is out. They had the Plaid event, and that was it was good. I mean, it might have been underwhelming for some people that were expecting more, but it was just it was a what was it? It was delivery event. So I mean, what do you expect? I guess what do you expect? But there's a lot of. Have you guys noticed? There's a lot of videos out there with Plaid. Okay, there's ones that are at the racetrack, at the drag strip and stuff like that, racing responsibly. But have you guys seen a lot of ones just racing on the street, like just street racing?
A lot, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, you know what? I mean,
Those lucky people.
that car is so like I mean it's getting up to 150 miles in seconds. Like it's mind-boggling, and I hate to say it, and I don't want to see it happen. I mean, absolutely don't want to see it happen, but it's only a matter of time with the ferocity of these videos coming out that someone's gonna get into an accident. I mean, it's some
Yeah,
serious
there was one yesterday or the day before.
an accident.
No,
Oh.
video of the guy doing a quarter-mile run just on a regular road, and I think he got 9.22. Anyway, when I was watching the video, I was like, I really hope this road doesn't have any like side streets or driveways that come onto this road. And sure enough, he's doing like 150 miles an hour, and there are driveways, or you're going so fast you can't even see what it is.
No.
There's definitely side roads coming onto that road. And at that speed, there's no time to react.
No,
Yeah.
no. 150. Yeah, I mean, yeah, that's exactly what I thought when I've been seeing these videos. I mean, the first one, second one, but then it got into like a dozen of them I've seen, and it's just like, yeah, it's just a matter of time. I mean, like Darren says, I don't care what you say, there's no time to react. Like Darren says, he took the words right out of my mouth. I mean, so I don't want to see it happen. I hope it doesn't. Just guys, if you have it, it's cool. Be responsible. Take it to a track if you have to. And there's a lot of people that have been taking it to a track. That one guy, I forget his name, that actually Ryan interviewed in a couple weeks ago, that got his on delivery night. I
think Emmett maybe is it?
Emmett Peppers.
Yeah.
Sorry, what was the name?
I think Emmett Peppers.
Yeah, that's Peppers. Yeah, I knew it was a name that I'd know if I heard it. Yeah, Peppers. Yeah, and yeah, he's been taking it to track, and he put out some cool videos and stuff like that. So just be careful. If I can say anything, a public service announcement. If you have it, congratulations. It is awesome, but be careful, man. And then and you guys correct me or enlighten me on what the acronym stands for, because I always forget. The IIHS. They finally put the Model 3 back in the top 5-star rating. Well, I think they never took the 5-star rating, but they did the test of the vision only car, and they kept it, I guess. I know Darren did a whole article on it. I didn't want to go into huge details, but those are just some things I noticed that I just wanted to briefly mention. But getting into the actual news, I mean, that was news, but the actual news is, let's talk about, as I'm pulling it up here, Tesla Vision, the new software that has just come out. It's been over a month. I know Elon said 2 weeks, or Tesla said 2 weeks, and I can say that because I remember when I got my car delivered, they said 2 weeks. And I've had my car for just over a month. I got it on the 21st or 22nd, and now today is the 29th of June. I got mine back in May. So it's been well over a month, 4 weeks, 5 weeks probably. And the newest update, 21.4.18.10, restores and improves a number of features, just like Darren says in his article here. Anyone get this update yet, by the way? Or is it just for vision-only cars? I'm wondering.
I think it's just for vision only.
Okay.
I know someone who got, I think they got an update on their Model S this week. They've been pushing out a new update for, I think it went to Model Y owners as well. I don't have that one yet. I'm on 18.3, but I think there's like a .4.21 now as well that started rolling out with just minor bug fixes, but it seems that this one's specifically for the vision-only cars.
Oh, okay, that's good to know. Well, and it makes sense because a lot of people have been asking me in the last day or two if I got the update. And I'm like, no, you know what? Of course I didn't get the update, but I guarantee you when I'm 3.5 hours up north and my car is sitting in the driveway by day 2 or day 3, that's when I'll get the update, when I can't use it for the next few days. It never fails. Whenever I go away and I don't take my car and it's a major update, not to say this is major, but I guess for me it is, because let's talk about it. I mean, it raises the speed. That's one from 75 miles to to 80 miles. What else does it do? You guys, correct me here. Okay, it
Smart summon.
smart summon. I don't have FSD, so I won't notice that. But it re-enables smart summon and the emergency lane departure avoidance. Mine was grayed out in my menu, so I guess when it re-enables it, it'll ungray it, I guess, and it'll allow me to turn it, toggle it on or off. It's one of those things, like I was saying in one of my previous videos. It's an emergency feature, so it's not something that I could really test out, or can I? Like, can you guys know? Is it something that I could readily test out in a safe environment?
I think if you're in cruise control and you go to leave your lane, it'll correct and keep you in your lane. That's at least been my experience with it. So you could probably do it.
See, go ahead.
No, yeah, that's all pretty much. I'm saying you could probably do it. If I'm correct, then I mean you could technically do it if there's no cars in the road and it's just an empty road. Then it wouldn't hurt to see if it would keep you in your lane or not.
Well, see, there's two different ones. And I remember when this first came out, it was confusing to a lot of people, including myself. When it first came out, they came bundled with a bunch of other things last year. It was lane departure avoidance and emergency lane departure avoidance. There was two separate things. And the lane departure avoidance, I know it still works on my radarless car. Yeah. That still works because, yeah, if I'm in just cruise, or not even cruise, just if I'm just driving and I take my hand off the wheel and I just coast over to the line, either one of the dotted lines or a solid line, it'll beep and notify, and it'll steer me back into the center of the lane. So that works. And I think that's just lane departure avoidance. But the emergency one, that I think has to do with, actually, correct me if I'm wrong, guys, being in some kind of autopilot or navigate on autopilot, and I'm guessing if someone comes into your lane, then it'll depart in an emergency, like it'll take evasive action.
I think you might be right.
Could
yeah,
be.
there's definitely two things. Yeah.
Sorry, Darren.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. Okay. And once again, I could get Franklin to drive beside me and try to slam into me, but that's only fun if it doesn't work.
Yeah.
So what's the only thing missing now in terms of feature set? It'd be the follow distance?
Yeah, well, that's what I was wondering. I was going to ask because I didn't see it, and I was going to ask you guys: has the following distance been changed?
I know some people here like following on one.
Yeah, and you know what? It's actually popular. I watched Dirty Tesla Chris's video this morning because he just got a new Y. Once again, a vision only car, and he's been, Chris, he's going to put it through some extensive testing, and he says he admits he's guilty for being a number one setting driver too. So I thought it was rare, but in the groups and in the forums and speaking to other people in this group that will remain nameless unless they want to voluntarily say, I realize one is very popular. So
yeah, I mean, I drive on one, and the biggest reason I'll say, hit me with it. I'm guilty as charged here, but
you almost hit me with it.
No. There was nothing like that. But for me, it's just I find that in traffic, it leaves a little too much space if you don't put it on one, and then you constantly have people cutting in and out. And when it's inclement weather and whatnot, I tend to turn it back to 3. And in the winter, I usually keep it 3 or 4. But in the summer, when it's good weather, I don't mind keeping it on 1, especially when I'm in traffic situations. But yeah, I was just going to add to what you were saying. The biggest thing that I think they still have to fix, and I don't know if this is something they can fix or if this is a quirk of vision, is the auto high beams. I know that some people have had problems with that and say they're not a huge fan of having to have the high beams enabled when they're in autopilot. And obviously it should turn off and work well, but I mean, everything only works well to a degree. So I think there's that still needs to be ironed out, the following distance, and I think the speed, you can actually go even higher on autopilot if you wanted to. Not that you should, but I think you could still turn it up a little bit more to match what we currently have with the radar vehicles.
Yeah. In regards to the speed, in Elon's, here I got it up on the screen, in Elon's reply tweet to Chris, he actually apologizes for having it at 75 and says it was done as precautionary. but he said it turned out to be unnecessary. So I'm wondering, did anyone else take that by him like throwing his engineers under the bus? Because it wasn't his decision. If it was up to Elon, he wouldn't have turned anything off. He would have just probably had it on. I think that's obviously erring on the safe side of caution. And I think it's done by his engineers. So, and to me, it sounded like when he said "turned out to be unnecessary," it made it sound like, oh, he's throwing somebody under the bus. Like I told him it shouldn't have done it, and they did it anyways. I could just be way off, but no, there was some video I saw today where they were talking about the new software version, and they said, and I can't remember if it was the wipers or the auto high beams. I want to say it was auto high beams. In this new version, it turns on when you first engage, but you can manually go in there and turn it off. Whereas the version I have, .3, I can't go in there and manually turn it off. Once it's on, it's on. Like autopilot takes over and doesn't allow me to do anything. But apparently in the .10, you can turn it off.
Yeah, that's right. It's under the miscellaneous stuff.
Okay.
That was first thing this morning when I saw someone say you could turn the auto high beams off, but no one had tested at that point whether the wipers could be turned off as well. So that could be in there as well. I just haven't seen it yet.
I really hope it is.
So.
Yeah. No, it's interesting. We were talking at the beginning of the show how we have had some bad weather here in Ontario today, and I was driving home, and it's a rain video that's coming up. I ended up making a video. I had my camera in the car at the time, so I'm like, okay, let's make a video. And anyways, long story short, and you'll see it in the video, the wipers, which I was in autopilot, and the auto wipers, it took a long time to come on. Like it was satisfied, I guess, the system was satisfied that, hey, I can see. I can see just fine. I don't need to turn the wipers on. Whereas I'm like, as a driver, I'm like trying to see through the dots and stuff like that. And it wasn't raining. And here's the thing: it wasn't raining. It was just the spray. It had previously rained, and so the roads were wet, and the cars in front of me were spraying up, just spray. So that's what was getting my windshield, not rain. The minute it started raining, and the dots, you can actually see there were bigger raindrops. The drops were hitting the windshield. Then the wipers came on. So I know there's a discrepancy in how some people think the wipers work in auto, but I'm impressed. All I could say, I was impressed. I was like, you know what? You're driving, not me. So why do I need to see? So if you don't want to turn the wipers on, I won't turn it on. I'll let you do it. Right? You're in charge, type of thing. So I thought that was pretty funny. Or not funny, I thought it was pretty interesting. So
there's a comment as well. David wants to know if the Sentry mode is fixed, and it is fixed in this update. Just want to throw that in there.
Oh, yes. But then I heard somebody else in one of the videos I saw today say, I forget the guy's name. I'm drawing a blank now. He says he's got the update, and he says the Sentry mode still wasn't working for him. It was shoddy. It was off and on. So that, you know what? That's the biggest part of this update. If it truly is working, that will be the most useful thing for me. That's what I missed the most. 75, yeah, I could go a little faster on the highway, but I don't really care about that. Following distance, I can keep it, as we talked about. The high beams, take it or leave it. The emergency lane departure, I hope to never have to use it. So I don't care if it comes on or not, but it's good to know that I have it if I need it. But the Sentry is what I'm missing the most. It's like I'm parking in the most remote spots just because I'm so paranoid when I'm going in malls. It's killing me. But apparently it's not just us radarless cars. It's a handful of radar cars too, like older 2020s. So hopefully we get it back soon. Moving on. Let's move on because I think we've
We had
killed
a
this.
question in the comments. Want to address it now before we go on to the next topic?
Yeah, sure, buddy. You want to pull it up if you could?
I don't have access. Dan says, any word on the Model Y 4680 will have the same range as the current long range or have a different 0 to 60?
It's Dan, you said?
Yeah, Dan said that.
Is it far up there?
No, it's not that far.
Yeah, I see.
Anyone want to give a thought?
I don't think there's been any official word on it. But hopefully we'll find out soon. The rumor that has been passed around is that they're targeting October for Model Y 4680 out of Texas. And I mean, the factory is working along quickly, but in regards to like range and top speed, personally, and this is just my opinion, I think that it's more likely that they reduce the size of the pack. They're very battery constrained. That's the biggest issue. And I think they're going to need 4680s for the Cybertruck and for the Tesla Semi. So I think they're more likely to keep the current range and shrink the battery pack.
And cut the price, maybe?
And maybe cut the price. I mean, Elon had said that they're targeting Model Y being the best-selling vehicle in the world by the end of next year, Q4 of next year. So I think if you want to do that, then you're going to have to reduce the price a little bit in some key markets. So, yeah, I don't think they're going to increase range or top speed just yet.
Yeah, well, they've been... I shouldn't laugh, but they've been raising the price over the past month or two. That's some other news that we missed in the month that we've been, or a month plus that we've been off. In the States, they've been raising the prices. What, Darren, now it's what, $3,000 in total that's raised?
Yeah, I think $3,000 since the beginning of the year.
Wow.
Yeah. In the last 2 weeks.
Anyone find it interesting, us Canadians, that ours hasn't raised? And we know why, but doesn't that speak volumes to how it just goes to show you that we were paying too much to begin with?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were definitely paying more. And I mean, I think that them raising the price most likely has to do with, one, the inflation seems to be kind of present in the US in general, and everywhere the inflation seems to be coming. And then also, I mean, I don't know if you reported this at all, Darren, but I mean, it seems like there's pretty much backlogged orders until like October, November for the Model Y. So if they have such a huge order flow, then does it hurt them to, bump the price $500 here and there to kind of keep up with the inflation that's kind of happening? Probably not. So, and the orders still keep coming in, right?
Well, that's it. I mean, it's insane to think. Like, I said this in one of the chat groups a couple days ago. It's like they're raising the price and they're selling out longer and longer into the year for Model Ys. It makes them look like geniuses when we first thought they were fools when they put out the standard range Model Y, and it was there for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and then they axed it, and we're like, oh, what are they doing? They're like so stupid. But now they're geniuses, because if they hadn't, think about it, if they hadn't done that, in my opinion, all those SRs would have eaten into the long range and probably eaten into profit, because let's face it, the more expensive the car, the more profit I think they're making, right? And it makes their assembly line a lot more efficient and easier. So, which once again translates into profitability and efficiency. So, I think they're geniuses. I mean, this is working out perfect. This is like they could write a playbook about this.
Yeah, I agree.
We had one more. If you guys want to cover it quickly, do you think we'll ever get to the point where cameras can detect potholes?
I mean, I think they've kind of alluded to as the neural net improves and as things improve, it'll be able to detect potholes, and it'll be able to, start identifying blinkers on cars when other cars are using their blinkers. So I think it's just about getting to the point where it can do like the basic stuff first, like drive on city streets. And then after that, we'll probably get pothole detection and stuff like that.
I'll give it even
2 weeks later.
I'll even give a better answer. Elon said yes. Okay, next question. No.
No, he did say yes a couple years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, he did say yes.
He says yes to a lot of things. So.
Yeah, and then the developers are like, okay, let's add this to the queue.
Yeah, there's a big queue.
And I just realized you got the same picture as me, Franklin.
I know. I even stole your mic.
And a mic. Like, could you do anything else?
It's not a real. Like, my real mic's here. I don't know if you can see it in view here. There's my real mic, but I thought it was funny to steal yours.
Yeah, it was funny.
I did it when you jumped down. Anyway.
Oh, okay. I just noticed. No, it's if Tesla's throwing all their eggs in one basket, which it seems that they are with vision, yeah, I guess anything can be done with vision now, right? Like Noah says, turn signals, potholes, debris in the road. Like, if we can see it, and this is Tesla's philosophy, right? If the human eye can see it, why can't the camera see it, and in a better way? So we'll see.
Yes.
You
Did you
sound
guys did you guys
verklempt.
catch Green's Only's tweet about
Was, was
CPU?
was he on vacation?
No.
Oh, because it sounded like he was on vacation. But yeah, no, I get off on a tangent. Yeah, where he talked about they ran out of room.
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, that's scary. I hope that hasn't happened. I mean, he's brilliant, so I tend to believe him.
You have to remember he's reporting on stuff that he has from his build, right? He's not reporting on what Tesla's doing internally.
True.
Uh, so from what he can see, they grind out a room, and obviously Tesla's going to optimize their code. If they're able to optimize it the way they want to, they can probably squeeze out another 20, 30, 40% out of what they have currently. But the way Tesla's going about it is they're going to basically go into their safety buffer based off what Green was uncovered, and I don't know if that's a great idea or not. I feel like if that's the case, I feel at some point we're gonna have a hardware I mean they already alluded to hardware 4, right? So it wouldn't shock me if they did another upgrade.
Yeah, and that's just a natural progression. I can see that, but I'm just hoping it's not like nothing like full self driving or anything like that. Any mandatory feature, is dependent on it, on the upgrade.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I mean, it's a lot of like opinion based stuff right now, right? When we bought our car decks, the website looked vastly different.
We sound like a married couple. When we bought our car decks.
Well, I know you got yours like a day, the afternoon after me, or the same afternoon as me. Anyway, we got our car the same day. We didn't know each other either.
No, thank
at
God.
The same location. So
yeah.
Anyway, there were the website looked vastly different in terms of FSD and what it had accomplished.
Oh yeah.
Whereas today, as long as they offer city streets plus what they currently have, they've technically fulfilled their FSD requirements based off the website.
Yeah, but with officially, but with Elon touting all this other stuff, I mean, there's no going back to that now.
No. I know that. I'm just saying from a perspective of whether they offer a free upgrade or not, right?
Yeah. Big shout out to Tesla Canuck Paul in the chat there. He says pothole detection will make phantom braking worse, probably, or he's asking. And thanks, Paul, for the super sticker. You shouldn't have. Please don't.
One more. Hey guys, got my Model Y yesterday at highway.
Yeah.
With one or both rear windows open, the car shakes like crazy. Anyone else notice this?
BitJam. I've been talking to BitJam on in the comments on all my videos, probably for the last 3-4 weeks. And yeah, he or she, I don't know. I'm going to say they were really excited about getting their car. So congratulations to them. No, that's normal in any car, isn't it? I think the Y or any Tesla is so well sealed that you're going down a highway, you open some windows. I know when we're on a highway, my son opens up his back window and no one else has their windows open, it pops their ears. So
no, he's saying the car is shaking.
Yeah, I don't know what it's hard to understand what car shakes mean. Like if it's just like wind noise
no, it buffers. I've felt it. I felt that in various cars. It's not just a Tesla thing. In various cars, it buffers. That's physics and aerodynamics, right, Darren? I can't think of anything else than that.
Oh yeah, I remember that happening when I was a kid.
Yeah.
Pray for potholes. My new bumper sticker. All right, you want to go to the next thing? We'll come back to the comments. I'm sorry.
Thanks for all the comments, guys. Keep it coming. We'll try to get to it as we keep going. Okay, this one I want to talk about because it sort of annoyed me. Did it annoy anyone else?
Yeah.
Tesla having to, I guess, pander to governments. Obviously, it's the Chinese government that's doing this. They, in a nutshell, and I might not have this fully, so Darren or Franklin or Noah, please correct me. I know Darren wrote the article, so that's why I said to Darren first. 300,000 cars had to be quote unquote recalled, just like Darren saying in the article, recall, because it really wasn't a recall. Thankfully, with Tesla OTA stuff, they can do anything over the air, and they were able to just do it. And that's not the issue. It was done pretty smoothly, I guess. in a timely fashion, and it probably cost them nothing other than engineering time. Whereas if this was legacy automakers, here Darren says in the headline, it would have cost them millions because they would have had to bring each car in for service and spend like tech hours to do it. So thank God for over-the-air updates, and I think these legacy automakers are finally, realizing, hey, this is where it's at, and this is where we can save money. So look at the Fords and stuff like that; they're finally doing it, and I think Porsche too. But what bugs me about it is the reason behind it. Was it? Am I correct in thinking, Darren, it was just an autopilot chime discrepancy?
Exactly. If you're familiar with your car, you know that when you just put it in traffic-aware cruise control, that little blue circle on the left-hand side in the image there, it just turns on with no chime at all and maintains your speed based on traffic around you.
Yep.
So all the update did was to add a single chime when you activate that feature. Because when you activate autopilot, you get that double chime.
Yep.
And with this one, it's just a single chime on traffic-aware cruise control.
Crazy. I mean, I don't know. It just bugs me, because what bugs me even more too is what Darren was saying in the article. There is so much media jumped on it, and the wordings they used, like if it was like the end of the world and all this dangerous things that Tesla has done and they had to fix this dangerous. Oh, it was just it was outrageous. So the media made it worse than anything else.
Well, it's like Paul said, the word recall doesn't make any sense here. They use the word recall with Tesla because it gets more clicks, gets more media attention.
Yeah.
How, like, you're really gonna click on an article that says Tesla updates car over the air? Like,
Nope.
Yeah, I get it. I get that part of it. Yeah.
And that's mostly what it is. I mean, I honestly hope we get the same beep.
Yeah.
I like that like, I want the beep, and here's my reasoning. I've been on autopilot more often than not, where autopilot will trigger off because of weather, and it'll pop up saying like autopilot is off because of weather, but TAC will enable, and sometimes it doesn't even beep, but TAC will enable when autopilot triggers off, and it'd be nice to have like a little beep when TAC enables in those circumstances, because I'm still paying attention, but it's nice to know what the car's doing without always glancing over.
Yeah, there's a guy on YouTube, Tech something of Tech. I forget the YouTube channel. He does some good stuff. He's got a Model 3, and he made a video about 2 weeks ago talking about that. He was at a drive-through, and it's happened to him a few times where it scared him, and he just so happened to be recording when he was at this drive-through, and it happened, and he made a video out of it where he said it was dangerous, where he was in autopilot, and then he came out to go into this drive-through, but he was still in TAC, but he didn't know it, and he took his foot off the not the brake. Something he did. Oh no, I remember. He thought he was in park, but he was just had his foot on the brake, and he was in drive the whole time. So when he took when he went to put it into drive, what he thought was putting it into drive, he was just putting it into TAC, and he didn't know. So when he took his foot off, like he started accelerating, and he took his foot off, thinking regen was going to kick in to slow down, it started going more. Luckily, the TAC was set very low. I forget the guy's name. It's something of Tech. But yeah, same scenario. So yeah, I see it, and I hope we get it too. I mean, it can't hurt, right?
Yeah, I agree. And I'll just say, like, the recall thing, 100%, it's like the media looking for clicks, calling it a recall, anything to, like, share some fun about Tesla. And I went to work yesterday. I had an employee come up to me, and he was like, hey, I heard about this recall that happened. There's this huge recall, hundreds of thousands of cars. And I said, one sec. I said, here's my phone. I said, let me go to my app store. I have 38 recalls right now in my
That's
app
exactly
store.
it.
And I said, and I showed him just like the 10-second video of the chime and what it was. And he's like, that's the recall? Like, but people don't click, people don't read the whole article. And then, yeah, you just have people walking around saying 300,000 Teslas got recalled. And in reality, it's 300,000 Teslas got a chime when they press a button. And yeah, so it's foolishness for sure.
Oh, it is. I'm just looking up this guy. Is it the Tech of Tech? Someone says, yeah, it is the Tech of Tech. Thanks, Mitchell. It is the Tech of Tech YouTube channel. He puts out some good stuff. Yeah, I mean, speaking of, and I get the media has a job to do, and they want to sell articles and sell papers or whatever the new version of selling a paper is these days. I get that, but there's times where I could get that, but then there's times where social media goes too far. And the next article is about this guy from Inside EVs. The guy's not from Inside EVs, so I should rephrase that. The article's from Inside EVs. Talks about this TikTok guy. We realize now. I remember about a week or two ago when the refresh Model S was released, said something about the steering wheel or the airbag falling apart in his hands or coming apart or breaking or something like that. And now we find out that he faked the video and now he's apologizing. What I want to know from you guys is an apology enough? Should he face more kind of repercussions?
Well, I think he kind of is. The police did contact him about the incident.
They did.
And he's banned from going to that Tesla location. I'm not sure what else happened, but yeah, he is facing more than just.
Oh, good. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, it seems like the police contacted him. I mean, the story basically is that he went to a Tesla showroom or Tesla service center showroom, and I guess he just got into an unlocked vehicle.
Oh, it wasn't even his car.
No, so it actually wasn't his car. So the story is it was in transport mode. I guess maybe they were preparing it for delivery, fastening a few things. Who knows what the whole story is on that? But he basically got into an unlocked car and made the TikTok. And I mean, people make stupid videos all the time. So
yeah, I get it. So sorry guys, I'm glad I have you guys on because I didn't know all this. So he basically sounds like he damaged Tesla's property. It wasn't even his car.
So, yeah, and the crazy thing was he it's not like he did one 10-second video of him in the car. He did, I think it was like 20 or 30 videos of him in the car and around the car. And he even took off the screen protector that comes from the factory. So
yeah, he should be charged with mischief, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I don't know what the equivalent of mischief is down in the States, and I'm assuming he's from the US. But yeah, he should be charged. I mean, what I was going to ask you guys originally before you guys enlightened me on that whole thing is, should Tesla turn around and sue him, or would that look bad on Tesla from a PR standpoint? But now knowing this, screw suing him. They should lay charges on him to set an example. But that's just me, zero tolerance stacks, speaking out loud.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think whatever criminal penalties, those should be faced. But I don't think it's worth it for Tesla to go after him. I mean, there's always going to be videos that blow up on TikTok that show negative things. I mean, Jeremy Judkins, I don't know if you guys know him on Twitter. I'm sure a lot of people do. He's always on TikTok fighting the FUD, and there is lots of it. So it is what it is. I mean, there's always going to be silly stuff. But yeah, if people are trespassing and damaging Tesla's property, then they should be held accountable criminally for that. But I don't think it's worth Tesla going after and making an example out of people who are just people with a couple thousand followers on TikTok.
More than a couple thousand now. That video.
Well, now, yeah, he's definitely gotten a boost from this. But I mean, even so, I think at the heart of it is that the truth will always win out. There's more Tesla owners who can share the truth than random videos on TikTok.
Yeah, I agree. I'm listening to you guys, and just as I'm listening, I have a rare opportunity to peruse the comments. I usually don't have that. Franklin does that for me. But no, you guys are right. But the art and science of flight. I like that that account name. They were asking about the National Highway Transport Safety Association. As far as I know, they have not restored the rating. Okay, yeah, we were talking about the IIHS, but this one, NHTSA, is a different thing altogether. And no, Darren, do you know, to date, they haven't done anything different, have they?
No, and the NHTSA has not updated their ratings for the Vision cars yet. And neither is IIHS for the Model Y. They've only retested the Model 3. So Model Y still needs to be tested.
Yeah. And one can assume, or should I not assume? You tell me. Should I not assume that if it's good for the 3, the Y won't be any different?
That's what I would expect. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Keep your comments coming, or your questions coming in the comment section if you guys in the chat section if you guys want. I see that there's just a little personal thing going on between Rob and Gary there. I don't know what that is, but I'm not going to get involved.
We're talking about some Tesla takeover thing next week, so I'm trying to get the details.
Oh, I know that. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you right now. If anyone is in Southern Ontario, in the Greater Toronto area, and Tuesday evening, if they're available, there is a, what is it, Gary? It's a show and shine. It's basically like a car club meetup it's not just one car make. It's like any car. It's like a classic cars, stuff like that, or muscle cars, or like any kind of car, exotic car, whatever you want. It happens every Tuesday in the summertime at Oakville. It's, I think, Dorval, just off the QEW, I think it is, in a Boston Pizza parking lot, I think it is, if I'm correct. We go down there every now and then. The people from around that area go down there every now and then on a Tuesday, and sometimes there's 2 or 3 cars, sometimes there's 5 or 6. I want to say 10 is the most we got there, and we sort of took over that one time. Actually, I wasn't there. Gary was there. Gary spearheads this whole thing, and he wants to put together something next Tuesday. So next Tuesday evening, if you guys are available, come down. Anyone in the Greater Toronto area.
I'll
be there.
On the meetup website. So if you go to meetup.com/unofficial Tesla Club,
Yeah.
I'll have all the info there for you guys.
And you've got time now, Darren. If you leave like in the next day or two, you may be able to make it.
As soon as I'm off this podcast, I'll head in the car.
Darren, it sounds like you need a plaid. Get here a little quicker.
You want to order me one? Go right ahead.
Whoa, settle down.
No, I think I heard a transaction there. I think I heard a commitment for sure.
Yeah, I think so.
And I've got a recording of it if you ever want to take him to task on it. You know what? We all here, it just so happens we have different guests from different places, but just so happens this week we're all Canadian. It's an all Canadian panel, and that's pretty good because Canada Day is in 2 days. 2 days? Yeah, Thursday, right? I forget what day it is. Yeah, it's on Thursday.
It's on Thursday, yeah.
It's on Thursday. It's on Thursday. Yeah. July 1st, Canada Day. The reason I talk about us Canadians and Canada Day and everything is because our last article is some news coming out from the government of Canada. Once again, by Drive Tesla Canada, that awesome website. Fitting that they talk about Canadian stuff because they do all the time. The government of Canada has set a new goal to have all their new cars and trucks. I love how they put in trucks too, to be electric by 2035. So that's 14 years away. Well, 13 and a half if you want to get technical. Is this achievable, guys?
Yes, I think it is. And I don't think it's even particularly ambitious, I would say. And the reason is because if you look, a lot of the automakers are already kind of pledging to stop, maybe not stop, but start reeling back the number of ICE cars that they're producing and making, or at the very least designing. So I think by 2035, I think just purely the number of ICE vehicles that are available to be purchased new are going to be a lot less. So yeah, I don't think it's particularly ambitious, and I definitely think it's possible, but it's good to see that they're at least, publicly committing to it.
Yeah. Okay. Other than the person that wrote the article that's in here, did anyone know that it was originally 2040 and it's been just brought back 5 years?
Yes, I knew that.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't know that.
However, so I know Rob saying it should be 2030 in the chat. I think there's more to it than just the new cars being made. It's not just from a manufacturer standpoint, it's also an infrastructure standpoint.
It is.
The grid has to be able to support that number of new cars charging all at once. Like, if you think we already have problems in the summer with people running AC all at once, the grid has to expand at the same pace as cars being released, right? So, like, it'd be fantastic to say, hey, let's go pure EV overnight. But unfortunately, it's not realistic. There has to be like a progression, and the progression has to match with the infrastructure of energy, right?
Oh yeah, I completely agree. I mean, one could, a skeptic could sit here and say, well, this is just lip service from a government because that government's not going to be in power in 14 years. But it's and that's a fair argument, but it just shows a commitment. I mean, you'd be crazy in any kind of world government or across the world these days to not have some kind of commitment or come out at least back something that has to do with cleaner energy or the environment or EVs or stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, you'd be crazy not to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think within probably 5 years, there's going to be electric vehicles available at a price point and range point that it would make total sense to buy an electric as opposed to an internal combustion car. It's within 5 years, I see that happening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So
I hope so.
2025 doesn't seem out of reach at all.
I think we need to still some infrastructure, not just for home charging, but I mean, even fast charging, I think still kind of lacks in Canada outside of the Tesla network. I know you can get across Canada and pretty much everywhere with superchargers, and this is a Tesla podcast, but for like generally speaking, EV adoption, I think the US has done a little bit better with Electrify America at kind of getting a separate network up and running. And I know Electrify Canada, I guess, exists as well. But I think we need to see more expansion of like a third-party charging network before we can get to a point where there's no new ICE vehicles being sold, because obviously at that point it won't just be Tesla.
Maybe like a Drive EV Canada company. I don't know. Just throwing it out there.
Yeah, no, that's exactly the infrastructure and the technology for charging has to increase. I've got a buddy that he wants to at first 2 years ago when I had my Model 3, he was like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm not into EVs. I'd rather just stop at a gas station." But now 2 years later, like he's talking about it, and when we go camping, talk about the Cybertruck and stuff like that, and he's come around a lot, but he's still on the fence in regards to charging time. And I think he represents a vast majority of people that if you can bring charging, okay, it doesn't have to be exactly like gas, like 5 minutes or under, but if you can get it in the 10, maybe 15-minute time range, I think that would turn a lot of people. And right now, where it's at now, which is good, and it doesn't bother me, but if you could bring it down from where it is now, and I'm sure they will. I'm sure technology will be there. I mean, they're talking already. The Model S Plaid, with their technology, can do 187 miles. Tesla's saying in 15 minutes. That's 300 kilometers. I mean, that should get you to any next supercharger. Anyways, but yeah, if they can get it down to 10, 15 minutes, that, in my opinion, will turn the tide for people like my buddy. Which...
Yeah.
Jeff brings up a good point too.
Petro-Canada
does have charging stations.
Yeah, I'm not saying there's none. Don't get me wrong. There is some charging stations. It's just not like as plentiful. If you're trying to transition people who aren't super into EVs, like for us, okay, we recognize there's Petro-Canada. They've got their Canada-wide network. But I'm saying for people who aren't EV people, I think you need them to physically be able to see, hey, there's an EV charger that I can charge at. There's one there. I know in my community when they installed a supercharger like 5 minutes from me, I had all these people saying, hey, they installed the supercharger, and it kind of puts something physical for people to point at and say, this is there. And I don't think it's at that level in every community where you're driving by a gas station on every corner. So yes, you can go in Canada from coast to coast in any EV. I'm just saying you need even more to get to a point where you have all new cars being purchased are EVs.
Especially further up north, supercharger network and Petro-Canada network is very southern oriented across Canada.
Yeah.
As soon as you start going north, there's next to nothing.
Yeah.
I'm going to throw a wrench in the whole Petro love fest that's going on here.
Of course you will.
I don't agree with what Petro-Canada is doing with their charging. They should have actually placed those chargers in kind of like what the superchargers are, where they're in places where people can actually go and do stuff, like in malls and restaurants and things like that. And they could have still branded it with Petro Canada, so you know exactly what it is. They could have put it at the Petro Canada, saying, "Hey, check out our EV network." And scan this QR code, and you can go see all the different EV chargers they have. But they should actually have the chargers in useful places, because I feel like long term, you're not going to go to a charging station like you would a gas station. You're going to go wherever you want to go, and then there's going to be chargers there, which would make a lot more sense. So I feel like in the short term, Petro-Canada is doing a good job, but in the long term, they're actually going to lose out.
Yeah, no, I hear what you're saying. I think when their mentality about it when they first did it was like, you know what, it's our property. What easier way to do it? At least for now, at the start. Maybe they have a future plan. Who knows? But when they first started doing this a few years back, they probably said, we have gas stations. We have a little spot in the corner here by the car wash or by the air machine or something. Let's just put it there. We'll hopefully get people to patronize the gas bar and the whatever, the Circle K or whatever would be there. I know that's SO, sorry, but whatever is there. A&W, because they're usually at A&W is with Petro Canada now. So, I mean, I see why they did it, how they did it at the time. But you're right. In the future, they'll have to branch out. The private infrastructures for EVs, and actually, I think the legacy automakers have to start doing what Tesla's doing and make their own. While we're talking about this, I see Derek's got a question. We're going to get to Derek's question in a second. While we're talking about this, the one article I heard a couple of days ago, I read about possibly that unknown car maker that Tesla is mysteriously working with for the EV, for their supercharging network, may come on board early next year. What do you guys? I think we might have talked about this already, but would you guys mind that, or are you very like, no, I don't want anyone else sharing our superchargers? What camp are you guys in?
We don't live in California. We're okay.
No, I think in Vancouver you're starting to see kind of the stress on the system in Canada.
Maybe Quebec too.
And yeah, so I think, and I mean, there's a supercharger down in Quebec right now too.
Yeah,
I think the one in Montreal is offline for a little bit. So I think you need to significantly ramp up supercharger production and installation, and I think they are. Like, all signs and rumors have pointed to the Buffalo factory like really ramping up production, and China as well. And they're doing this new prefab, and I'm sure you guys have talked about it, but the prefab superchargers where they literally can just show up to the site, plop it down, connect the wires, and have it up and running. So I hope that'll mean more and more superchargers. But as it stands today, I don't think it would be a good idea to open the network. And when you have so many new EVs coming to market in the next year, like ID4, Aria, all these EVs coming, if you all of a sudden just, and I know it's only one automaker maybe they're partnering with, but if you just open it up and you have so many more Teslas people are buying, then you're going to have a problem. And I think in California you see it, and I think in Vancouver you're starting to see it a little bit.
I think it's a great way to expand the network quicker, though, depending on what they're charging. Because if they're able to get large amounts of money that they're able to invest back into the network, you got to remember they're going to expand it faster, right?
Yeah, it's not like I see what you're saying, and I agree with you. But it's not like Tesla's hurting for money. It's not
That's
like
what
they're.
I'm saying.
It's not like they're waiting for partners so they can infuse them with some cash to start doing this. What do you think,
That's
Darren? I know
what
you.
I'm reading online.
I know you got to go soon, but curious what you think about this.
I'm kind of in the middle. I agree with Noah that, I mean, especially in BC, the number of Teslas here is just insane. I've been doing tweets this week showing the supercharger stations in the Lower Mainland area. They were at one point on yesterday, I think it was, there were only 6 stalls available out of 60 plus in the whole city. And there were wait times at 2 of them, and so in that respect, I don't think it's a good idea to open the network. But in terms of overall EV adoption and, like Noah was saying, increasing the speed with which Tesla expands the network, opening it up to other cars is a good idea in that way. So it's a bit of a double-edged sword. You want to do it, but at the same time, you don't. So
Yeah,
there's got to be some kind of middle ground, I think.
How many people here think that Tesla said this, or maybe Elon said this years ago, but now they don't want to, but they've already said it, so they sort of committed to it, and maybe they're making it harder. Maybe they'll just do this one small manufacturer, and then leave it at that, and say, okay, well, we did what we said we were going to do. We opened it up for other people, but we don't want any more.
I think it's a good thing. Like, don't get me wrong. I think it's a great thing for Tesla to eventually like allow other cars to use the network. I think it's great. I mean, you basically would have to have other people who buy another car buy an adapter to charge it at Tesla superchargers. So that's a point of revenue. You have them paying for fuel or kilowatts at Tesla chargers. Like, so it's a huge point of revenue for Tesla. I just don't think it's wise to hinder and kind of like if you have all of a sudden these superchargers packed every day, fully lineups, then that's the kind of image people are going to see, right? People driving past the supercharger are going to see a lineup snaked out the place with people waiting. So you don't want to give that idea to people because I think it'll scare people away from EVs. So when the infrastructure is there, when the chargers have rolled out enough, and I think it's going to happen a lot in the next year. I think there's going to be tons of superchargers like added. Then I think like there will come a time when it makes sense to open it to other EVs, and it'll be a great point of revenue for Tesla as well.
Yeah. Okay. I agree with you guys. Let's move on to this one question from this person named Derek, and then we'll wrap up the show because, like I said, a lot of us are on a tight schedule for tonight. I apologize, guys. I know a lot of you guys are probably accustomed to my 1.5, 2 hour podcast, but this one's going to be a short one tonight. Okay. Question from Derek Hensel. Anyone know if the new 4680 cells will be backwards compatible with the 2000 series packs? I guess he means the 2170s. Wondering if the replacement packs will be made available once the new battery tech is released.
I know someone who knows. His name's Elon Musk.
Okay. Anyone here? We can take a stab at it.
I mean, my idea kind of, and like everything I think goes back to Tesla being cell constrained. Even once they have 4680 production online in-house, the other companies that are producing batteries, Panasonic, LG, Elon has already said that they still need every cell that they can get. So I think that any 4680 cell is going to be earmarked for a new vehicle. And I think those other companies are still going to be making the 2000 series packs and cells. So if they're still making that, then Tesla's going to want to utilize those in some facet. So when it comes to replacement packs, if they're needed for whatever reason, I don't think they're going to have 4680s going into older vehicles because I think they need every 4680 cell going into a new vehicle. So at least in the short term, I don't think that's something that's going to happen.
Cool.
But you guys can feel free. Like that's just my opinion from the information we do have.
You know why I have you on the show, Noah? For your opinion. That's exactly what I want. Yes. Well, guys, we've come to the end of another show. Thank you very much for coming out, guys. Noah, let me start with Darren first, actually, because he may have to jet out soon. Darren, where can people find you?
DriveTeslaCanada.ca, and there's links to Twitter, Facebook, all that stuff. Yeah.
This is the man behind the magic, folks. You're getting Ride Lightning. Ryan McCaffrey is using almost all your articles for his news lately. Have you noticed in the last 2 or 3 weeks? Like he's using a lot of his news articles are from your site, which is great to hear.
I didn't notice that.
Oh yeah, he's using quite a bit. Noah, where can people find you?
Just on Twitter at Noah Webb with 2 B's, so WEBB _. And then also if you need wheels for your Tesla, I work for aftermarketev.com. So we're the distributor of fast wheels in the US, and we can also sell in Canada. So anything to do with wheels for your Tesla, feel free to check out our site at aftermarketev.com or shoot us an email at info@aftermarketev.com, and we'd be more than happy to help with that.
Fast Wheels are great wheels, folks. Canadian company too, but even outside of Canadian, like they make great wheels. I can attest. I have a set myself.
Me too.
Franklin, Mother Frunker, where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter at mfrunker. You can find me on YouTube, Motherfrunker, and you can also find me at Drive Tesla Canada. I'm an active writer there.
How do you put up with this, Darren?
No comment.
I've written
Yes.
I've written at least 2 articles in my time.
Yeah, and
as a
none of them
writer.
were published.
No,
I'm
no
kidding.
way.
I'm kidding. I read them both, I think. No, I didn't. And if you're listening to this or you're watching this on YouTube, that's where you can find me, folks. I've got the radarless or the vision only or Tesla. Wait, guys, what is it called? I want to get this right. Is it Tesla Vision or vision only? Like, what's the correct terminology?
Bird killer.
You have to send me that video, by the way.
I would go with Tesla Vision.
Tesla Vision? Okay, it's decided.
Okay, long story short, so for people who don't know the joke, everyone here does. Dax was driving, I was behind him. A bird flew into the side window of his radarless car.
Not into, like it hit it, not in my car. It didn't fly into my car.
Yeah, flew to the side. And
And
then a couple of minutes later, I called Dax. I'm like, wait, Dax, did I just see that right? So
Yeah,
I saved it on dash cam.
I think it died.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, send me the footage because I'm going to put it in the video that's coming out for that drive, and you guys will see what I'm talking about. I'll put it in there. But yeah, check out if you're interested in more videos for the radarless car. Check out my videos, folks. And of course, if you're a Facebook person, you can find my channel, my groups, not my channels, my groups on Canadian Model 3 and Canadian Model Y groups there. And there's a Cybertruck Club too, but I forget the name of it because I don't really go to it much, but I should. When a Cybertruck comes out, that's where I'll be all the time. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching and listening, and anyone listening on the podcast, thanks for doing that. And we will see you here. I almost said next week, but it probably won't be next week. But you never know. I might surprise you guys. It might be next week. Thanks for coming out, guys. Not next year. Take care. Bye-bye.